Running a Fever, episode 107, Achieving the Goal, part 2. Fashion report addendum to the fashion department. As you know, I've had 3 pair of shorts from Walmart, and first one didn't last very long. I mean, in its complete state, I'm still using it. The second and third ones were both and one brand, and what's happened yesterday was one of the strings broke. And I say one of the strings because this is basically the design problem. It has 2 strings that are welded to the fabric of the shorts inside a sheath that comes around the front. In the back, you don't have that sheath, you just have a waistband, elastic waistband. Now, this could have been designed better with just a little more string, obviously, but it's cheap. So my endorsement of Walmart is kind of suffering right now. I lost another pair of shorts. I'm not even going to keep those because I need the string. I feel like I need the string now. 2 cyclists passing me. And I'm now 3.89 miles into the 5-point screw 5 trail. Of course, I started at 1.5, so it's about a little over 2 miles. Actually, no, because that's counting down from 5-point screw 5, so live math, wow. It was like 3.5, okay. Roughly speaking. Bought some new clothing. Unfortunately, it's just I hate that I'm spending so much money on clothes, and not really workout clothes so much, except for the shorts. I've gotten some more of the socks that I like so much, Ortho socks, or Thorlo. Warning, Thorlo, it's an anagram of Ortho, probably intentional. Thorlo socks. And I bought those, so it's, it's November now, so it's getting toward the end of the year. It's the time when I start thinking about annual things, and one of those would be making sure my clothing is up to par. You can probably tell we're passing the botanical gardens right now. Lots of noise on the road. Still feel the cold. I don't know what temperature it is, but obviously I've warmed up by now, but still got my gloves on, my hat, and the hood, so I look like a hacker. So yeah, I got 2 new pair of jeans. I don't know if I should. Levi's 541s, a size 32. So officially, the 541s are a little flexible. They're definitely kind of snug, but they're not uncomfortable. And I know that if I went down on the 501s, which are straight-legged, regular denim, that they would probably be at a 32 waist, probably uncomfortable in the thighs. So I've lost a whole foot in waist size over the last 11 months. Hopefully that's enough to get me through the winter. I guess now that I'm, almost done at the first lap, it's a good time to start talking about why I'm actually here. I believe it was episode 5, very near the beginning of Running a Fever's production series. I think it was episode 5, that I set a goal. It's easy to find because if you look on the archives at runningfever.com, you'll see the title, Setting a Goal. And the title of this episode, of course, is Achieving the Goal. Now, the goal that I'm achieving today is not exactly the goal that I set on November 18th, 2017, because today I'm walking hopefully 2 laps of Lake Fayetteville. The goal that I set was to run 2 laps of Lake Fayetteville. And if you've been following along, you know that I haven't run since December of 2017. I had a knee injury that was serious enough to keep me out of action for 6 weeks. I haven't seen a need specifically to start running again. When I reintroduced cardio, I found that I could do 20 to 30 minutes on a stationary bike. Three, hopefully someday more times per week, like four to five times a week. But right now, it's one or two, maybe three times a week, depending on how my knee feels, etc. It's also sometimes hard to fit it in time-wise because it's not recommended to do the cardio in the same session as you do weightlifting. Works better if you do a separate session. So I'm doing that in the evenings. So that's how I get my cardio, and I think that's already helped to get my blood pressure down, as you probably heard in the episode in which I gave my biometrics results. So I'm not running today, but I think it's important to recognize that I've learned a lot in the last year, and hopefully I've transmitted that knowledge to you and helped you out a little bit. But I've run a little bit, I've walked a lot, I've done a lot of other types of exercise, I've tried different diets. Some of those diets were terrible, especially earlier this year. And I've changed my attitude, which is probably the biggest factor in my health today. So, what I've learned is, and I kind of knew this from the beginning, some people recommend against running. There are good reasons to do it, good reasons not to do it. So far, no doctor has recommended running to me. Walking, yes. Other types of exercise, yes. Not running. Why? Because the damage that it does on your body is, there's risk enough of that damage to outweigh the benefits. Not for everybody, but for me, certainly. Now, of course, I weigh between 70 and 80 pounds lighter than I did when I had my injury. And so running might not have as big of an impact. But I also have seen various tweaks to my so-called bad knee. As I speak, I'll go ahead and adjust the sleeves again because they do keep falling down, being over my tights compression pants. But good morning. So again, I'm not ruling running out completely. I'm just saying I'm sticking for now with what's good. I also think that lifting weights, and I have made progress in that area because I'm now doing squats with a significant amount of weight. The first squat that I did, I reported on. I can't remember what it was, but sometime this year, I went in the gym, did one squat with just the bar, which I believe weighs about 45 pounds, and I felt something in my knee, and so I didn't do that for a while. But as I've gone on and I've done other leg exercises, those muscles have become stronger, I believe, and such that my knee is being supported better. Lots of traffic, even on an early Saturday morning here. Morning here on Don Tyson Boulevard, right next to the trail, as I traverse Copperhead Crossing. So you got to adjust your goals accordingly. I perhaps by starving myself could get down and actually lose 100 pounds in this year, but I'm not going to starve myself to do that. That's something I've learned. I'm doing the healthy thing. I've got to practice what I preach. And I'm not running or trying to run 10 plus miles today. I'm doing the safe and healthy thing. Again, not that running's not healthy in general, but it is risky. There are health risks to doing it that are higher than walking. So I view this as an adjusted goal accomplished. And I'm not going to be so stubborn to say, well, I failed because I'm not running today. I don't believe in failure. I don't believe in failure. Any setback or mistake is just another step in the journey toward success. The fact that I'm not running and I have made such great progress in my health indicates that I have success here. I was thinking, well, this is a big event. Eventually, leading up to it, I was thinking, well, maybe I should invite some people. I know some listeners in the area. Get some video, all that, but I realize that the most important person in this whole endeavor is not me, it's not my friends here, it's you. Morning! It's you, the listener, the person who is trying to improve themselves, who are trying to improve their health and progress. Morning. Believers. So you are here. You are here with me, and that's the most important thing. So other than that, nobody's here. Because actually, nobody knows I'm out doing this today. I haven't told anyone. And it's probably a good time to look at not only the past, but the future. What my goal is going to be going forward, because there's consistent improvement. I'm not going to stop because I've reached this goal. I'm going to keep podcasting. I'm going to keep trying to improve. And so the goal next year is not one of distance or any kind of objective external sort of measurement, but it is a measurement. You have to measure really to have a goal. And so what I've decided for 2019, the goal is to get to 15% body fat. Now, that's a very aggressive goal. It's a very aggressive goal. Building muscle takes a long time. When you get to this point, losing fat is also not a quick process. I think I lost 10 or more pounds in the first week that I was dieting earlier in this year. And that was when I was 274 pounds to start with. Just not that hard. You eat less and that's pretty much it. But now it's a little bit harder because I'm working out 5 days a week in the gym. I'm doing my cardio in the evening. I'm doing activities on the weekends. And I'm eating 2,000 calories a day. And I am still not losing weight very quickly. So that should tell you what's going on and why my goal of losing 100 pounds is just not really realistic in terms of maintaining my health. So the goal for next year is 15% body fat. Realistically, I think I can get under 20, and that would be a great achievement to get under 20%. Into the teens would be great, but 15 will be my goal. Good morning. Past one of the turnouts to Lake Fayetteville or Razorback Trail. It's kind of a circular thing. I've taken pictures of it before, and I'm going past the fields, open sort of grass fields. The mile marker is 2.61, so we've got a little over a mile to go on this first lap. I have started to feel a little bit of activity in my knee at this second. It's not really bothering me, but it's just kind of letting me know that it's there. And the sun is coming out, and I'm starting to see the beautiful leaves on the trees. It's autumn in the Midwest / upper South. We are now on the second lap of our historic goal-achieving workout today. Second lap of Lake Fayetteville. I stopped at my car, dropped off gloves, my knit cap, the Cyclops light. My hands are still a little bit cold, but they were getting too hot with the gloves on. I've got the hood down, so I'm fine on the head part. And morning. So I got my phone out. I'm going to take this opportunity to take a picture of a tree that's of extraordinary fall color right here on the side of the trail next to Lake Fayetteville Park. So we're all set to go on the second lap. So I stopped, I drank the rest of that 20-ounce bottle of water that I started with today. I've got more there when I get done with this. And I've already walked more than 5 miles and I'm walking away from my car. That's a risk. But I am very confident that I'll make it back. Speaking of making it back, I also got my dried apple and ate that. And it's amazing. You get sugar in your bloodstream. Wow, this world looks brighter. Even though I had that big breakfast, it really made a difference having that little snack right there. So I got a little water, got some fuel. I walked around the Fayetteville-Springdale Center for Study of Aquatic Resources, which is the building at the old stomping grounds. Philosophy department. I haven't talked about the most important aspect of this journey, and that is my philosophy or attitude about life. I recently, and just so you know, this section of the podcast is going to be for, I will also be presenting to some people who not only have never probably listened to the podcast, but may not even understand what a podcast is exactly. So just excuse that part of the explanation. I've been doing this for over a year, or almost a year at the time I'm recording this. And podcast is just a audio recording, among other things, but generally an audio recording that is made available on the internet. And people can subscribe and automatically get these sent to their smartphones and listen to them in serial, just like a radio show in the old days. So it's kind of like an internet radio show. And this one is focused on fitness, basically general health, fitness, medicine, and diet. And I've documented my journey and in the hopes of helping other people to do the same. So, philosophy department. What happened in the last year to change my philosophy of life? Well, I decided to love my life. And because I love my life, I want to make it last as long as possible. That's the emphasis on health. But I've also sort of discovered a kind of purpose in life, or a gift. I believe that everyone has gifts. I believe they come from God, but they are with us from generally our entire lives. They can be developed, but they're there nonetheless. The process of discovering these gifts has been a long one for me. I originally was thinking about doing a podcast called Searching, because I'd spent so much time searching. I'd done so many things. I mean, a list of all the 48 different hobbies, jobs, etc. that I've had. And there's probably more than that. But I've come closer in the last year and come to realize that my main gift is knowledge, that is figuring stuff out and telling people about it. And so that's kind of what I've done here. I've been figuring stuff out on my own as it relates to me, in hopes that people who relate to me and identify as a person who wants to improve their lives health-wise can do so. And I've made that available through this podcast. That's my mission. The podcast is only a method, because I always kind of wondered, well, you know, I feel this sort of energy, this sort of sense of fulfillment of purpose when I'm doing the podcast. But is it the podcast that's actually the gift, or is it something else? And I discovered it's kind of something else. My primary gift, or charism, is in my tradition it's called, is knowledge. So knowledge is that gift of assimilating information, generally through study of some kind. So if you're a professor and you do research and then you write, that could be, sort of classic definition of the knowledge charism. For me, it's podcasting is one of those things one of those ways that I transmit the things that I've learned. Morning.
Morning.
Writing, I believe, is one of my gifts as well. I do some writing on the blog, and I have written some other stuff that's out there. If you go to Amazon.com, search for, well, forget about it. If you search for Michael Davis, you'll come up with about 9 million returns. But if you go to davisfalk.com, DAVISFALK.com, you'll see my 2 books that are ebooks that are available on Amazon. When I'm not podcasting, writing is another thing that just has that same effect on me. It makes me feel energized. Keep it up, man. Not only makes me feel energized, but I feel like I've got a purpose, like it's really helping. I feel like I'm doing the work of God, and I occasionally get feedback from listeners and mail at runningaFever.com. Love to get feedback from you. So writing is another way that knowledge charism is expressed. The other one that I know of just offhand is when I'm at work, I often get the opportunity to train people in new things. Not necessarily sometimes things that I've been working on for many years that I know very well, but also things that are brand new technologies. I work in the IT field and I have to keep up with new technology all the time. So I'll have to learn something completely new and then teach that to others. So just realized recently that is the most enjoyable part of my job. So those are 3 gifts or ways in which I use the knowledge charism. And I didn't really understand that until recently, that this is a group of gifts which includes teaching, speaking, and writing that all relate to knowledge. And it just occurred to me, and it didn't, these things don't happen all of a sudden, because the human mind's an amazing thing, and I believe that God speaks to us through our minds. But He's given us a wonderful mechanism, the most powerful computer in the world, and it's always working on things even when we're not aware of them. And so the fact that I've been thinking about these things, the fact that I've gone through the called and gifted class that I mentioned before, all those things have kind of worked themselves out in my brain. And so it seems like it's a sudden realization, but really it's a culmination of many months of working and intentionally working, as well as just taking in information with a goal of understanding where I'm supposed to go. And the journey is not complete, but for now I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing and how I'm supposed to be doing it. Other methods, other messages may emerge in the future, but that's where I am today, and that's basically the philosophy that has propelled me to do this, because how my study, my research has led me to actually do what I'm hoping to help other people to do, and that is improve my health dramatically and to show that it's never too late. Well, we are in the final half mile. We're in the final half mile of our second trip around Lake Fayetteville today, November 3rd, 2018, 15 days ahead of the deadline I set to achieve this goal. It's a new personal best for me, at least in modern times, and a new record for Running a Fever. Everybody who made this possible, especially Tom, Patty, Amy, and most especially you. If it weren't for you, I'm sure that I wouldn't be here. You are the motivation for getting me out here. You're the reason that I've made such great strides in my health. So thank you for getting me to this milestone event. And we're just at the beginning. This is not the end. This is the beginning of the next stage of health improvement and development in the areas of fitness, medicine, and diet. And so I'm feeling pretty good. I think the lifting has helped quite a bit because there's very little discomfort in my knee. I don't have this sort of numb leg that I've had sometimes. So that's helped. Probably the cardio has helped as well. It's just, consistency is so important. Not consistency, but persistence, really. Just keeping on through the pain, the discomfort, the setbacks. Keep on going. Always keep that passion, always keep that fever. I still got it more than ever. I love my life more than ever. I want more than ever to make it last as long as possible. Official time, 10:23. So this actually, we did do it in a little over 3.5 hours, actually. So not bad, less than 4 hours. Catch the fever if you don't have it, keep it if you got it. And we'll talk to you next time on Running the Fever. This is the Padua Podcast Network. PaduaMedia.com.